is Leah Schretenthaler, and I was born and raised on the island of Oahu. However, currently I am living in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I will be talking about my current project called the Invasive Species of the Built Environment. This project started about 2 to 3 years ago when I went back to Hawaii for Christmas break to visit my mom and spend some time on the island again. I noticed these buildings that weren't there the last time I visited. The Honolulu Rail Transit was being built, and I've been following the controversy with that invasive build. I was really saddened by the changes of Hawaii. My home didn't feel like my home anymore. I began photographing these controversial builds, starting with the Honolulu Rail. I did further research on old controversial builds. And I just photographed around Oahu and even on the Big Island. And then when I came back to the mainland, I developed my film, printed my film in the darkroom, and then I actually began laser etching out these builds. And this was a way for me to try to see the land without these structures, without these invasive man-made structures. In the process of laser etching my resin-coated paper, I began noticing it wasn't burning the paper all the way through. It left this scarring. Resin-coated paper, after laser etching it, became very weak and structurally unsound. And this became that metaphor of what happens to the aina, or the land in Hawaiian, when we build these structures on the native landscape. The land becomes weaker. These photographs then became objects, became a breathing organism, a representational of that land. I photograph other places every time I came back home. The goal with this project is to photograph the other islands, Hawaii or Maui or Molokai or Lanai. Because of COVID, I was unable to travel back, so this project is continuing on. Currently, I'm working on my sculptural work and with some color photographs that I took last time I was there. As I continue to work on this project and continue with other directions of using Hawaii as subject matter, I remember the myths and the legends, the chants and the hula dances, and I also thought about the difference between Native Hawaiian and being native to Hawaii. For me, I belong to the latter. And although I was born and raised on the island, I am not Native Hawaiian. However, I respect the culture, the land, and the people. In this particular narrative, I am still an observer, and as such, I have watched my home change into something almost unrecognizable, which has spawned me to create the invasive species of the built environment. I would like to end with saying a saying that I always say whenever I end a talk or even end a class that I'm teaching is aloha, ahui ho, malamapono, meaning until we meet again, take care.